All right. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Baker Stew Chiefs podcast. My name is Brandon Baker. Big fan of the Chiefs, and we just wanted to share whatever news we could. Whenever anything comes across, we're going to bring it up and make episodes weekly. If you got any feedback, feel free to comment and let us know what you want or what we may be doing wrong. Let us know what's going on. Again, my name is Brandon Baker, and I'm going to pass this off to my brother Noah and let him introduce himself to you.
Yeah, thanks, Brandon. I'm his brother, Noah Baker, obviously. I'm a Chiefs fan as well. Really, obviously, waited my whole life for a Super Bowl championship run. 2018 looked promising. We came up short with a penalty.
D Ford.
We should be, yeah, D Ford. We should be back-to-back champions. We really should.
Yeah, I'll agree 100% with that. Thanks a lot, D Ford. Um, hey, but we got him back whenever we got to play him in the Super Bowl, so that was a
Right.
huge win. But hey, we're going to get into this, guys. This very first episode, we wanted to just talk about what we've done in free agency so far for the 2020 season. Real quick, a couple things we're not going to really hit on, but we figured we would just mention. We did sign Demarcus Robinson back. He's coming back. Noah, what do you think about that?
Oh, man. It's a good sign, honestly. We saw him step it up in the Raiders game. And, one of the huge things about us 2019 was we had a lot of injuries, both on offense and defense, really. But, first game of the season, Tyreek Hill goes out, and that's not a problem because week two, Demarcus Robinson steps up with a huge game. He's like third string, maybe fourth string receiver, and he came up and he really dominated and really made plays. And then, of course, we see week one, Tyreek's out. Sammy Watkins is the one making plays. So the depth was a big thing that we had at receiver spot. So I think that the signing of Demarcus Robinson, it was huge for us just because, he's an underrated receiver by all means. He could go somewhere and I think be a solid second string
Yeah.
receiver. That's just my take on him.
Yeah, Mahomes really trusts him too. They have a
Right.
pretty good connection, so I was happy about that. The next thing we would go ahead and hit on real quick is obviously Chris Jones with the franchise tag. There's so many different things you can say about this, so we'll just not even really talk about it. It's just, honestly, I don't know how this is going to play out.
I don't either. And we saw the negative emotions from him with the
hmm
franchise tag, but
He wants to be
we'll
with the
see.
Chiefs. He wants to play for the Chiefs his whole career. But at the
Right.
same time, I understand he wants money. I get it.
Right. And you don't want to be really, forced to be somewhere, obviously. You want to be there knowing it's your free will that you're there, right?
Right. So the next one on top of that would be Bashad Breeland. We signed him. Noah, what do you think about that?
Bashad Breeland. Coming into 2019, no one heard Bashad Breeland's name. And really, throughout the season, he wasn't really a household name that you heard. But, I'm going to take it back to the Patriots game. He comes in and makes a game-winning play. He's a smart receiver. He had a pick that game, too. He had a couple picks on the season. And he really showed up when he needed to. He made big plays. He's smart. And I think he's a good addition at the cornerback position because we're obviously really shallow there. Just watching from really the last 2 years, we're shallow at the cornerback position. And so he was smart. He made plays when he needed to. I think he's a great addition to the team.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. There's a couple other ones here that we're not going to really talk about at all. I just wanted to make mention of them. Um, we did re-sign Chad Henne. Um, we signed offensive tackle Mike Rimmer. We signed a tight end Ricky Seals Jones, and then the meat of the podcast would be cornerback Anthony Hamilton. We signed him. He played for the Raiders and the Giants. There's not really much on him. He played a total of 13 games, started 4 games, so you can't really find much on him because of injuries and whatnot. Noah, what do you think about him?
Man, I say fill up the cornerback position, give some guys some shots. Um, Charvarius Ward was my biggest issue at the cornerback position. I mean, he made some
Penalties.
plays. Penalties, right? Penalties was a big one, and I mean he made plays, but he took too many plays off.
Right.
Takes me back to the playoff game against the Texans. He gets burnt on the first drive of a playoff game, and I mean, of course, you ought to play the same way in the playoffs and regular season, but the mentality's different, the crowd's different, everything's different about the postseason. And in a postseason game, if you're giving up a play, I mean, it's just you can't have that at the cornerback position. So, I mean, I'm personally hoping that the new addition with Antonio Hamilton, he comes in, and I'm hoping that he's able to just kind of lead that position a little bit, take some ownership, and not take plays off, give it 100% every play.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully he'll help out in the locker room, keep guys in control, and just we can have a
Hmm.
better cornerback room because that's honestly one of our weakest positions. So
Right.
any help
I
we can
agree.
get, we're gonna take it.
I agree with
Um,
that.
Next up would be the running back we signed, DeAndre Washington. Now, for me, out of what we've done at free agency, besides past players we brought back, he's the one I'm most excited about. Um, to me, watching some of the tape on him, he really reminds me of Ezekiel Elliott. Um,
Hmm.
he's a little um, smaller in body weight, but his size is really similar. The way he runs the ball is very similar. Um, he looks like someone that can create space very well. He's got good hands in the backfield.
Hmm.
I'm really excited about him just because we did not see much out of our running backs this past
Mm-mm.
season
We
at
didn't.
all. Honestly,
No.
since Kareem Hunt left, we've not, or I should say, we dropped. But since he's
Mhm.
been gone, the running back has just not been a part of our game. It's just not.
No. Mm-mm.
And so, Noah, what do you think about that?
Man, he's a good addition. Watching the running back situation play out since Kareem's left has been a little weird. So Kareem Hunt left. I believe it was the end. It was the end of the 2018 season. Um, a couple games left in the regular season. Damian Williams did step up and make some plays, even towards the end of the regular season, but he really showed up in the postseason.
Hmm.
And I mean, we're really in an awkward spot for the running back position. Looking at LaShawn McCoy, he wants to play 2 more years. I mean, but he's a veteran. You want veterans on your team, but I mean, he's on a decline in his career. He really is.
He
Just
is.
looking at his 2019 stats, he ran for 101 attempts, at 465 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not terrible for 101 attempts, but I mean, the fact of the matter is he doesn't take care of the ball. He runs with it, like you say, like a loaf of bread's in his hands. I mean, he doesn't protect it, and
Right.
we can't have that.
Yeah, you could tell. I mean, he did not play much at all towards the end of the season. You could tell Andy Reid just did not trust him anymore.
Right.
The fumbles, it wasn't looking good for him. And honestly, I didn't see him come back after this season just because
No.
of how terrible it was.
Right.
Like you say, he had some good plays, but he fumbled the ball at
Yep.
least. I honestly I don't even remember how many times, but yeah, it's
It
just
was quite
been.
a few times, and I remember speculation towards the end of the season with some of the commentators uh, posing the question if he was injured or if there was some.
Hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, and some of them were even saying that Andy Reid wanted to wait till the postseason to play him. But you didn't see much out of him in the postseason. You just didn't. Damian Williams stepped up in the postseason, just like he did last year. Some of his postseason stats: he ran for 159 yards in the 2018 postseason. with 2 touchdowns on 35 attempts. And in 2019, he stepped it up with 196 yards, and that's Damian Williams, a guy that filled in for Kareem Hunt, put in a weird situation. So,
Right.
really, DeAndre Washington, I don't know where he's going to fit in. I could see him. I could see him sitting behind Damian Williams,
Hmm.
and third down back possibly. Maybe sharing some reps with Darwin Thompson.
Hmm.
But I mean, like you said, he's a good option. He can run out of the backfield. He can catch a ball. He's fast. He ran a 4.49 40. He has really good acceleration, which is really important at the running back position. He's also really patient. I don't want to really compare him too much to Le'Veon Bell, but I saw quite a few comparisons in that he's patient and that he's got a lot better from college too in this area of his game. But he sits and he waits for the hole to open, and the second that it opens, he takes off through the hole. So he's real tough. He's patient, and I think he's going to be a good addition. Maybe third down back, but we'll see what Andy Reid does with him.
Yeah. Yeah. He seems underrated. I
Hmm.
was when I was watching tape, I actually watched a video of a YouTuber from Oakland who was just not very happy to see him go. So he's obviously made an impact on that team, and people like
Hmm.
him. So that's good for us.
Right.
It's another position. It's basically our only real offensive position that's um, not that great. If you
Right.
think about it, I guess our O line as well.
Right.
um,
O line could definitely use some
uh,
adjustments there.
and signing that Mike Rimmers is good because Cam Irving was terrible. So
Hmm.
got to protect Patrick.
Right.
Um, honestly, guys, that's really all we had for our very first episode. We wanted to just get some stuff out there about the free agency. Hopefully, you guys heard some things that you haven't um, heard so far. Guys, we really appreciate you tuning in. Next time, we're going to do a draft episode. So we should have some prospects that you can look out for. So look out for that. And again, thanks for tuning in. Know you got anything else?
I don't think so. Like Brendan said, thanks for tuning in. We're going to be if a free agency moves happens, during the free agency period, we will make an episode about it and kind of talk about it and discuss like we did today. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah. And guys, I mean, we're just doing this because we want there to be conversation. So I mean, comment and let's talk and go Chiefs, guys. Thanks for listening.